Hey everybody, this is Dream, and today I'm going to be reviewing Golf Club Wasteland. Golf Club Wasteland is developed by Demogog Studio and published by Untold Tales. The game is $9.99 on Xbox, and it releases tomorrow, 9/3/2021. So, this game is a post-apocalyptic political cartoon, hiding in a mini golf game with a visual novel background. Alright, so basically what I mean by all that is that this game has a very pointed political agenda, and on the outside of the game, when it comes to the story and like the stuff you're gonna hear in the game, and then you're playing mini golf on a post apocalyptic Earth. The background of the story is basically that Earth has fallen to climate change, and Elon Musk has moved everybody to Mars, and rich people pay money to go play golf on Earth. um, and then while you're playing, you get a radio from Mars that's going to give you stories from people that living on Mars about Earth, about what's going on Mars, and music and everything in between. The the game itself plays very well. I enjoy the golfing aspect of the game. It is very relaxing in some places and challenging in others, and it's kind of designed to be that way. The controls are a little bit finicky, but once you get used to them, you'll do alright with them. However, I do think that they're probably a bit easier on PC than with a controller because of the more of a limited ability to be super precise with a thumbstick over a keyboard and mouse perspective. So, with that said, the story of the game, like I told you, it is a politically focused game, and so if you don't align exactly with it, then it might be a little not too on the nose. I mean, for me, it doesn't align on certain principles, and others it does. It definitely takes a very left-wing approach in the game itself, and it's very pointed in that direction. And it tries to make fun of right-wing ideology in some places. I will say that a couple of the attempts of trying to make fun of right-wing ideologies are actually kind of making fun of left-wing ideologies, but I think that the person developing the ideas didn't have a good grasp of the particular idea they were trying to uh, portray specifically. But regardless of that, the gameplay is really good, and I do recommend it from a gameplay perspective. But I just wanted to note that it is very politically heavy. There are lots of references to Bitcoin and Elon Musk, and um, the fact that it's a golf game. There's some Donald Trump uh, things in this as well, and so just letting you guys know about that up front. The visual aspect of the game is really well done. I like it a lot. It's very artsy, and also the music and the radio aspect of the game adds a element to the golf game. However, it is easy to kind of get distracted by that or by the golf itself and miss things. So you kind of want to listen to the story as separately while playing the game as well. But overall, it is well put together and it's well made. Um, yeah, my biggest gripe, like I said, is just the swinging mechanic. It's not perfect, but it's not game breaking bad. The difficulty of the game is quite hard. There are several levels that are going to give you a hard time, and then there's other levels that you'll just breeze right through. Um, but I don't think it's so bad that most people won't be able to at least complete like the base story part of the game. Uh, so it's definitely good from that perspective. Um, there are also three different modes in the game. You can play story mode that doesn't have a requirement for how many strokes you need to take, and then there's a slightly harder mode called challenge, which makes it where you have maximum amount of strokes. You can mess up in that mode some and still do fine. But then there's iron mode, which you almost have to play perfectly in order to succeed in. As for the achievements, they're not too difficult. They're going to take 10 to 15 hours probably, if not a little bit more, because you're going to have to be iron mode. But um, you may not be able to get that last one if you're not great at the game, or if you can't get the controls down, but you'll get most of all the rest. I actually do have some achievement guides up to help you along with that. Um, Overall, I'm going to give the game a 7.5 out of 10. I'm not taking any points off for it being extremely left-wing, you know, political cartoon type thing. But uh, I think that the biggest drawback is that the controlling of the golfing aspect of the game is not perfect. So that's kind of what I took points off for. But yeah, overall it's a good little game. Price is pretty fair. Of course, you know, if you really want to go with the ideology that the game is pushing, then maybe having a price of all seems a little funny. But at any rate, that's pretty much all I have for this one. If you do pick it up, let us know in the comments what you think about the game, and have a nice day, guys.
The corporation knew my contacts in the world of drilling and refining would be useful, so I adapted my skills to something more practical. Now we are all that keeps this little planet running. Mining those Martian chemicals for the battery banks, Martian cement for the buildings. My pure little Emma has a future. When somebody sits down and writes this all up for the history books, it might just be men like me they'll be hailing as heroes. It's men like me who saved humanity. Men like me who took us further than we ever dreamt possible.
Radio nostalgia from Mars.
Oh, some pretty heavy stuff. Reminds us that all kinds made it up here to Mars, but we're all in it together now, and remain creatures of the world.